Welcome to the Hour of 8. Thank you for being with us on UBC TV. For all the information you need as you kickstart your day, just make the date with us from 6:30 till the hour of 9. Once again, I'm Robert Chirabo Nyointono, and this is Good Morning Uganda Agenda, where we look at issues of national concern with a guest in studios. Now today, we want to put our focus on what is happening in cross-border trade, more so looking at the Uganda, Sudan, and particularly the Elego border, where many of the East African countries use that exit or that entry point into South Sudan. And with me to discuss this is a man who has been in South Sudan for quite a long time, for about maybe 2 decades. And this is a man who has been driving in and out of South Sudan, even at the hardest of moments. You know, Ugandans are risk takers, and of course would go to any area as long as there are commercial benefits. And this is the chairperson of Regional Lorry Drivers and Transporters Association, Byron Chinene. Just returned from Elego. I was watching news, and he was the chief, actually, negotiator on the side of truck drivers at the just concluded negotiations that saw the truck drivers end their strike that had lasted for the last 16 days, and that was around Wednesday this very week. Chinene, most welcome to our studios.
Thank you, Mr. Chirabo, and the management of UBC for having me today. Good morning, viewers.
Well, to begin with, Byron.
Yes.
You one man have known for quite a long time now. But every time I'm in Sudan, I'm back. This time I survived. What keeps you people going at such a country where you know that maybe 70% is a risk, 30% is luck?
Well, just because it's Sudan, I think it is the biggest market we have for Uganda in terms of making money. That is all, because there are many issues, there are many challenges. The way people look at things. And you know, unless you know the history of South Sudan, the 21 years these people spent in the bush did a lot to their understanding. Oh, to the way they look at
they
things.
Perceive things.
So, unless you know the challenges of South Sudan, we spent the 21 years. So, but it is the market. It is the only market we have. Today in Uganda, we have 2 markets. South Sudan and Congo. That's why even you see the government of Uganda is constructing roads in Congo. And you may ask, why? Why? Because I heard even people say, even MPs, why when we still have roads here, bad roads here, why are you going to Congo? Yeah, because it is our market. It is the market.
We're talking about the market just for our viewers. URA, that is at the Elego border point, every day clears about 270 trucks. And of course, that means revenue to us. We have over 100,000 Ugandans in South Sudan, and a month we earn about 11 billion. That is something I first also couldn't expect in terms of revenue, that the trade we do between South Sudan and Uganda. Now, Byron,
yes,
this is like the 6th time we've seen truck drivers, protesting, parking, and saying something must be done. And thereafter, you go back to business. Maybe to a certain point, it may mean business as usual unless people may not take you serious. Let's first understand, what are those issues that really have failed, we've failed to find a final solution to them? Who knows, maybe in the next 3-4 years, you may again, we'll see truck drivers park at the Elego border.
Not even. You know, I myself, my back got challenged when I was in South Sudan, because I just asked a certain officer who was calling him a customs officer. Little did I know that he was a colonel at a place called the Jebel Kujul. You know, we always pay road user fees, and when they knew that road user fees is paid at the border, they introduced their own tax. So these are the challenges. Somebody can introduce his own tax at his desk, and that was called the land fee. Now when I reached there, I asked him, what do you mean by land fee? He told me, he forced me to lie down. I went down. He stood on my back with a gun. He fired 2 bullets in the air. So now that impact of firing 2 bullets came to my back. And up to now, I can't sit for a longer time. And that's why I left driving, by the way. So those are the challenges. That's the type of people we are dealing with. Now, South Sudan, the abnormal killings of people. More especially, that's the first thing. The abnormal. Why am I calling it abnormal? Okay, you can kill somebody. It is also abnormal. But you kill me, again you slaughter me. You slaughter even my dead body. You burn my dead body. You can sometimes they remove even the intestines. So that is so abnormal. And even burning of the trucks. When they kill the driver, they burn the trucks, they burn the commodities, and even the other time, they killed the nannies. You heard about when they killed the nannies, and they even burnt their car as if their car has a challenge. So those are the issues. And then, secondly, extortion. In South Sudan, you can't estimate the money you are going to pay. And even it is a very big issue with the transporters, with the truck owners, because you can't ask your driver, how much money do you need?
As you're taking these...
Yeah, he can't even estimate, because there is a lot of extorting money. Now, there is a corruption. After extortion, there is corruption. Many checkpoints along the way. Now, and we are saying, many people have died in your hands. Why don't you try to compensate them? So now, what brought this? At first they killed, you know, from the 5 people, from the 60 Ugandans, they killed at a place called Ganji and burnt their trucks. Even as we speak now, 3 months down the road, the trucks are still there, besides the road. Nobody can help you to remove them. Now, again they killed others. They killed Kaliowa. Kaliowa, we are coming from the same area. Just recently, they killed the nannies, and lastly, they killed 2 Kenyans. Now, that's why people said, no, this is too much. We need to park and maybe wait for something else. So, those are the issues, more especially killings. Killings would have maybe, yes, would have been compromised by the other, but now killings, it is too much in South Sudan.
Let's understand, you parked your vehicle for about 16 days, but these are some of the information coming in, that first and foremost, you the drivers don't want to adhere to the rules. First, time of movement, as given by the government of South Sudan, that the truck drivers do not respect that. Second, even time of convoys, that you reached a point, you do not go by the convoys, you choose to leave at your own liberty, how effective it is. So you're not law-abiding, and yet you're putting yourselves in harm's way as the truck drivers.
Oh my God, this is where I need to thank 2 people who attended the meeting we had. You know, at first we had the first meeting, and as we were speaking, those words, those statements were raised by the leader of the delegation from South Sudan. He was called Major General Dr. Paulo Nang. He raised some of those issues, and he said in the first meeting, he said to them, now, we challenged him. The Ugandans, the 6 Ugandans who were killed at a place called Ganji, were killed at 11 a.m. Now, those who were killed at Academy were killed at 2 p.m. Now, these last ones were killed at 5 p.m. Now, what's the time of movement? Then, secondly, in South Sudan, there is not something called the convoy. It was not there, unless it is going to be sustained this time.
What do you mean it wasn't there? Because the authorities came out and said we have convoys that are ready to escort these truck drivers. But what is funny is the truck drivers either lack confidence in these convoys or have their sinister motives that they will not abide by the scheduled time for the convoys.
And do you know why we don't have the trust in the convoys? And that's why I told you I'm so thankful for the other people, the Brigadier General To and the RDC for Amuru, the RDC for Amuru Osborne. Because we were challenging their operation, their way of what they call convoy. When they are escorting trucks, they come with brand new Land Cruisers, full of soldiers, with guns, well equipped. That is okay. But now for them, when they started the convoy, they speed very fast. And instead go with the smaller cars and the buses. And these trucks move slowly because they are overloaded. And the road also is not very good.
Not that very good, yes.
So now you can't think that a trailer which is loaded will follow the Land Cruiser up to Juba. So that's the challenge. Because we are telling them, please, why don't you space yourselves and see that what you mean by a convoy, you are escorting these trucks. But why do you go faster than the vehicles? You reach Juba, then after like 3 hours, the trucks also start arriving. So that was not the convoy we wanted, and that's why this time we're saying no. We are not trusting at all your army, because in what we wanted this time, we wanted a joint force, maybe from the ESC, to go and maybe guide South Sudan how best they can guide these trucks. Yes, now, why I'm thanking Brigadier General Toh, this is the man I knew.
That's the Atachi, Uganda?
Yes, to South Sudan. This is the man I knew during the Kony period because I was driving there. This is the man.
But you are a risk taker, Chinene.
Yeah. Because one time Brigadier Toh disappeared in those forests when he was hunting for Kony for a week. And we started hearing rumors that Oto was killed, Oto was beaten. Only one time, Oto came back. And people started calling him a ghost. That Oto is a ghost. I'd spent time without seeing him. This time I saw him in a meeting. I said, wow, this man is still there. Now, so he told them that a convoy, what do you mean by a convoy? Because even someone may be driving his truck and gets a mechanical challenge. How are you going to cater for that truck? It is not a matter of driving and going up to Juba.
Fulfilling a process.
Yes, because I might be driving, my truck gets maybe a flat tire.
So the convoy should be there to give you protection.
The convoy must be there, but if you went fast now, what do I do? But now, in that meeting, we got a challenge. When the leader of the South Sudan delegation, Major General Paulo Nang, he raised these issues in the first meeting. He said, you people, you need to know that because now, and I learned something, when you have gone to negotiate, you have to, you have to know the challenges you are going to face. And please, wherever they are there, whether they are there, make sure that you have to yield something. It is like a lady who has gone to a labor ward. However much the pain is, you have to. People are waiting for the baby for the baby to be born. Now, Major General said, "You people, who is forcing you to come to South Sudan? You say we are killing you, but when you go back and you load the goods and come back, who is forcing you to load and come to South Sudan?" That was one. Again, you must know, these were his words, you must know, coming to South Sudan, 70% is risk.
Which I said earlier, that is something
and
I know.
30% is luck. Then, he said, now because I had mentioned those who were killed on Ganji. Ganji is on Juba, Yei Road. He said those who in Ganji were killed at 11 a.m. He said, now, who told them to go there? Because I'm a Major General, but I don't use that road.
But Chinene, do these words surprise you in any way? We know South Sudan, they have just come from a war,
yes,
and there are still some pockets. They signed peace agreements. Today they are calling upon our own president to intervene because Chapter 2 of these agreements that calls for unification of the forces is something they are failing to implement. This is more like a ravaged country. Insecurity is the order of the day, and you're taking their business. Are these surprised? Because I know when we had Kony in northern Uganda, you remember, we knew very well that this was any time Kony would attack from anywhere, good enough our government is master when it comes to security. So you had the convoys, you'd wait for Karuma to take you through and all that. But still these sporadic incidents would happen. I don't find that a surprise in any way.
That's why I thank the guidance of the RDC Amuru, Mr. Osborne, because he guided. Some of the people had decided to move away from the negotiations. But the RDC said no. And by the way, I was on his side because we said the 21, the 21 years is something a lot. So now, we were not surprised, by the way, because that's the way he saw things. Because even another major general from migration went and said, came and said, you are lucky the people who die in South Sudan, because South Sudan is a country of God. When you die in South Sudan, straight away you go to heaven. That was a statement from
that is that is an opinion.
Yeah, that you are lucky when you die in South Sudan. So that means it is better to die in South Sudan than dying in Uganda or Kenya. And again, they started attacking the government of South. They took time attacking the government of Kenya because that's why
that alleged belief that this could be rebels.
That they are funding the rebels.
That is something we've heard of also.
He even told the drivers, the Kenyan drivers, that go back and tell your president not to continue supporting the rebels fighting South Sudan. He's the one killing you.
Because I've been following these issues, and they mention a certain rebel. That this is the person, or this is the group that is behind these attacks on Ugandan truck drivers, Kenyan, because it's all about East Africa. They don't choose if it is a Kenyan, you go. If it's from Tanzania, our brother, some Somalis also had the wrath of this that drive fuel trucks. So this is something also that repeated. Yes, there is a rebel. I know sometimes rebels could be funded by other countries as well. Not saying this is true, but these are possibilities as well.
No. What is calling a blame or funding? They even blame Uganda. That in the refugee camps we welcome even rebels, and Uganda cannot scrutinize who is a rebel and who is not a rebel. These are refugees.
So
in the camp. So even in Kenya, there is a rebel who ran to the camp of refugees. That's the one they are talking about. He just went to the camp of rebels. I mean to the camp of refugees. So it is not like a funding, but these people are consistent because they even repeated it in front of the Kenyan ambassador to South Sudan.
Let's understand best. Now the strike has been called off. You called it off this week. What is the way forward? That we believe maybe you won't see these reoccurrences. What did you agree upon that a truck driver in Uganda, one of your members, should understand that is now safe? A business person will load their goods to go to South Sudan.
Well, Mr. Chilabo and the viewers, I can't say the things will not come, will not be seen again. I can't say that. I can't guarantee. So, but now, what I'm trying to say, this time round, we requested them to make a formal commitment. They wrote a commitment to the embassies of Kenya and Uganda. There was a written commitment. Then secondly, we have got many interventions. Today, the East African Business Council has intervened because we petitioned them through the Private Sector Foundation. We petitioned the East African Business Council. And what I got yesterday, they are also putting it in front of the Council for ESC ministers. So that is something which has not been there. Then, secondly, today round, we are going to have a joint border committee to evaluate the progress which is taking place. So today I think we need not to rest, because the other times when strikes were being called off, we could relax and think that things maybe are going in the right way. By today, as we speak, we have changed the modalities. If the East African Business Council comes to our rescue in a good manner, and the East African community, by the way, is also coming on board, and we get the joint border committee, I think we are going to try, but I cannot guarantee that such things will not come back.
Well, viewer, thank you for being with us. You can send in your message. That is on our WhatsApp number 0709, that is 602592. Please send in that SMS, that WhatsApp message, and we will be reading. Looking at these, the cross-border trade barriers, one of them being insecurity, and that is the trade within South Sudan and East African states. Why do we say so? When you look at the people that are, or the truck drivers or the trucks at the Elegu border, it is very interesting. These are not only Ugandans. Actually, I'm told that majority of the trucks even belong to Kenya.
Yes.
That use our entry point into South Sudan.
Like a 70%, when you go to Elegu, 70% of the trucks are from Kenya. And that's why, by the way, we are also requesting our ESC governments to intervene, because we don't need a situation where these negotiations are left to the RDC to battle it out, and maybe the customs officer, who were also important in these meetings, and only the trucker drivers, because the governments are benefiting. These trucks, every time they take a fuel, where the government is getting revenue. These trucks are transporting commodities which are made by our factories like the Mukwanos and roofings, where the government is getting revenue. So these by the way, even the government of Uganda is getting road user fees from the Kenyan trucks. So the governments are benefiting economically. So we don't need to leave this to only the drivers. We need to come up with, whenever there is an issue, and not even to wait for an issue. But right now, as we have called off this strike, we need our heads of states to engage His Excellency Salva Kiir to find a way how best we can help ourselves. Not helping drivers, because I can't say we are helping drivers. The drivers are just transporting commodities which are made from these countries. And even fueling their vehicles, they are paying taxes. So we need to help ourselves by our governments engaging Salva Kiir and telling him, please look here, this is because they joined the East African community. And by the way, Mr. Chirab and the viewers, one day I was talking to a Major General. He's now a commissioner in the ministry. And he told me why they joined the East African community. That for them, in their country, when like they are seated and one raises a hand, proposes a certain regulation, again they personalize it. That is the Chirabo regulation. That is the Chirabo regulation. So they wanted to join the integration. For the integration to be as owning as a mother, of this of South Sudan, and regulate issue codes of conduct, so that they are not personalized as South Sudan is, but now as the ESC standard, that if you belong to us, this is the standard.
Well, let me read some of the messages that are coming in via WhatsApp. We have here, I see, good morning, Robert. Well, thank you. Good morning to you. But please, I need your name and where you're calling, where you're watching from and being part of this show. Still here, I have good morning, Mr. Chinene Byron. We are so much in support with what you are doing. You have helped the drivers a lot. You need support from the Uganda government, from that is Chinene Shalom. Okay, they are just thanking you for the good work you're doing. Then I have good morning, Mr. Chinene Byron. We are in support of what you're doing. Okay, that is. Let me read this. They have to accept security to trail them, all accompany them, all Wajakubata. Those are places of conflict. What do you expect? You had that message?
Yeah.
What do you expect? These are places of conflict. Then still I have here, that is, they have to accept, that is Kezia from Gomba. Thank you, Josiah from Gomba. Thank you for being part of the show. Then here we have, okay, no, we are still, these are some of the messages that came in late here. Good morning, UBC. This is Livingstone from Chireka. I think the government should tighten trade barriers for proper security. That one is calling upon government to do more here. And then we have also, this is good morning. This is Tukakiriza Godfrey. Okay, Tukakiriza Godfrey, thank you for being part of the show. Actually, let's first zero on to these messages. One, you have to accept a companionship, because you know this is a war-torn zone.
And Kabisa, we accept companionship, but now the modality, and this time that's why I told you what Brigadier, we think, because we told even Brigadier General To, that please, as we were sitting in South Sudan, please sit with these people and give them, because I can't call him the nod, but maybe look into the issues, into the modalities of the convoy, because the convoy, it has to be escorting the people, not the people to follow the convoy. So it was something not conducted well, and but we support the convoy and we like the convoy.
So to be particular, someone asked, I would like to find out, are you talking about trucks all alone or cross-border trade in general? Well, we are looking at cross-border trade, but this time the transportation sector of these goods, because of course for exchange of goods there has to be transportation, and if transportation is not there, then most likely we may not have the trade going on there. Finally, good morning, Uganda. Moses Muga in New York. To me, I don't see the meaning of East African community, because all these issues would have been worked on by the EC, but it seems we are still independent dependents. Okay, independent dependents. That is what he's referring to. He says he doesn't see the value of the East African community, because they should have taken lead in this negotiation as well. Yes, actually, let's also...
That is a very big point, because you always, you know, when somebody comes and joins you, you must, because as a South Sudan, it seems they had issues, as I told you, personalizing regulations, laws, and whatever acts, and they came to the integration. Also, the integration to act as a standard body. That please, Chirabo, you are coming to UBC. This is the standard. You can't go beyond that. So maybe the East African community needed to look into the regulations and the agreement they made with South Sudan and find a way of sitting together with South Sudan and say, please look here, this is our standard. If you need help here, if you are weak here, let's come in and help you. It is not help you. Okay, we know there is a mistrust amongst our countries, but on the lives of the people, the East African integration need to come in.
Well, time is not so much on our side, but we have a final message that is from Chinene Solomon, who says, I want more clarity about those trucks parked. Are they yet to operate normally? The ones you said that are still parked along the roadside where we had 6 Ugandans lose their lives.
Well, they can't because some were burnt, some have issues. And by the way, they have started vandalizing them. People in South Sudan, they have started vandalizing them because even the government of South Sudan cannot escort the owners to go and remove their trucks at that place. And look here, the full major general to come and say, who told you to use that road? Even me. As powerful as I am, I can't go there even if I have escort. That's what he said.
That means the risky areas you should desist from going to them.
Certainly now we need to be advised by the government, because today if you are going to Jinja, you find a checkpoint, they say you are not supposed to use this road up to Jinja. You can't also, you can't resist it. So that is what they would have done, but not after killing people, after burning their trucks, and you say that is a bad road, who told you to go there? And by the way, that road is used. So we don't know, maybe wanted to divert us, but most of the trucks cannot move now.
Well, time is not so much on our side. I must give room to Ruben Mpima Kasera Chibida who will take us through the world of sports. But thank you so much for your messages coming in regarding. I think I'll just have to find maybe more time and bring Chinene back, because they are flowing in like rain that showered in some parts of Kampala this morning. Byron, your last remarks to the traders?
My last remarks on the traders, please, let's understand the country we are dealing with. That South Sudan, and I always hear people comparing those from South Sudan are enjoying Uganda, they are enjoying Nairobi. Please, even some of those people you see, the South Sudanese you see here in Kampala, they ran from South Sudan to come and look for a safer place here. They don't even want to go back. So sympathize with them. The country itself has challenges. We need to sympathize. They are our brothers and sisters. So we just sympathize with them. Look, just find a way how to live with them. But South Sudan need to be helped to get out of this situation.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Byron Chene, for having phone time. I know you had a busy schedule. You said I'm weak. I've just returned from Elegu, but you phone time to be with us this morning.
Thank you for
having me. And I want to thank all those Ugandans that have dared, that have risked to continue trade in South Sudan, and in one way or the other our economy benefits from the taxation and the monies that we do in this cross-border trade. As the East African community, we must stand with our brothers to ensure meaningful free movement of people that will in one way or the other lead to development of this region in terms of trade. Stay safe. COVID is still around. Go for vaccination if you qualify, and let's do our best to ensure the positivity rate does not go high, but we keep it as low as possible. The more we flatten the curve, the better the world will go back to normal. Say Uganda, schools will be opened, and of course so much business will return. But if we don't flatten the curve, then we have so many problems ahead of us. God bless you. Till tomorrow.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.